Hey guys, I made some little mini pumpkin patch bundles and I love them and I hope you guys do too, so let's take a look. I'm Whitney with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and today's video is going to be super fun, super cute. I was going for Halloween, but it kind of looked like fall, so I've been calling it Falloween. So in any event, here's the 4 colors of paint. They're all Waverly, so we got pumpkin, maize, ink, and white chalk paint from Waverly. And then these 2 things here, these are Dollar Tree frames. And then this right here is a dollar frame I got at Michael's. You get those by the register. They have them pretty much all the time. So these 2 little Dollar Tree frames here. The reason why it worked out like this is because the pumpkins I bought that I was going to place in these things, I just was trying to size them up to get them to fit. And this is how it worked out. So just find some Dollar Tree has so many options for frames. You can literally either run to your stash or go to the store and just take your pumpkins with you, or I say take your pumpkins with you like it's normal to have pumpkins with you. Okay, it's normal for me to have pumpkins with me. Sorry guys. If you have pumpkins, make sure you bring them with you. I always have pumpkins with me. No, I'm kidding. I don't really always have pumpkins with me. I mean, I always do, I guess, but that's a tattoo. Anyways. All I did was open up these frames, take off all the little extras that were attached to them. Now this one had a little metal bracket on it, so I took that off. And then the paper underneath I thought wasn't paper. I thought it was painted. It wasn't. It was a piece of paper, but you saw me here. I ended up having to use my hand sander to get that off, because we're going to turn that one into like a little cute little stand with some feet. So for all 3 of these, I'm showing you me painting them because I'm painting them all the ink color together. Now, full disclosure on this one, at the very end, when I was taking pictures in my studio lights, one of the handles I added came off. So even with the added step that you're going to see me do here on this one with adding Mod Podge to it, I should have done that beforehand. Again, it's chalk paint, it's a plastic frame, it's very known, you know, it's a well-known issue that happens. The paint will scratch off very quickly, or in my case, because I hot glued a rope handle to it, the piece came off with the Mod Podge and the paint still attached to it. Then you could see that purple through. I did fix it, so it's one of those things where it's super cute, just don't touch it. Or if you have a better technique or a better, you know, medium to use on paint other than having to go outside, because I did not have any black spray paint. So for what I had to do, it still worked out. It's very delicate, so I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to look at it only. Well, I mean, they're all decorations anyways, but this one needs very minimal use. Don't shuffle it around. Okay, after everything is painted, here's the first project, and this is that was the frame that was purple. So I'm showing you here that I noticed my paint was scratching off, which I don't know what I was thinking, guys. I know that chalk paint does not like plastic items, but for some reason I was being hopeful that I could get away with it. And I thought I did. And I probably did if I had to put handles on it. But I wasn't actually going to turn this into a tray looking thing. I was going to leave it more of a stand-up picture thing. But I actually really like how it turned out. So you'll see here at the end what I ended up doing with it. Which you probably already saw in the thumbnail anyways. It's not like you're psychic. We've been here, Whitney. We clicked on the video. So here I used my Waverly cashew color chalk paint, and I just dry brushed around the edges. I wanted it to still be, again, I'm trying to go for fall, so I was going for black and orange. But then I also love this gradient. So as soon as I saw these little pumpkins and I knew I had to go to Dollar Tree to get them, I knew I wanted to do like a gradient color, or like a color coming in from light to dark. And so I just grabbed 3 of those. And of course, because they're Dollar Tree pumpkins, the stems are completely crooked to the point where they look like, you know, the equivalent of having an eyeball on the side of your forehead instead of on the front of your face where it belongs. Yeah. You guys ever see some of that stuff? It's just blatantly like, wow. If a person did this, then just wow. They're so like half out. And then you'll see me do some more from Michael's later, some pumpkins from Michael's later that are just way crooked. So what I'm doing here is, this is burlap rope that I got off of Amazon. So you'll see it in my Amazon store, which is linked in the description and the pinned comment below. And I just like the thickness of it, and I also like it's the durability, I'd say. This is it's a thicker yet thinner. It's a thinner rope, burlap rope, or, you know, the equivalent of the nautical rope at Dollar Tree. You'd probably have to unwind it. And with my experience with unwinding that Dollar Tree rope, it does continue to unravel even the 3 strands that you get from the one rope. So I chose to buy some off of Amazon. This is, for lining pictures or the insides of frames. But for this one, I just made I put 2 little knots on the end of little pieces I cut, and I'm turning these into little handles because basically what was speaking to me was it ended up being like a little mini tray idea. So this is something you could just lay flat on a tabletop or put this on a, in like maybe a centerpiece vignette or something to do with like on a table, a table runner on your bar or on a countertop somewhere. It turned out to be such a cute thing, and I just added the handles instead of leaving it like a stand-up picture, which we still have one of those, and the next one is a stand-up picture. So I really didn't want to put Spanish moss in here, guys, but I didn't have anything else that I could literally think of. I think my creativeness just kind of left me, because I was, number one, always a thing in my book, distracted by pumpkins. And look, I found a dang stick. Can you believe that? I know, you guys, I just literally found out that this stuff grows on trees. I live in the desert. I'm sorry. I am so naive to how these things work, but I'm so stupid. I thought moss, it's like, Whitney, moss grows on everything. But I did not realize that these came off of trees. So that's why there's sticks in them. Anyways, I have 1 stick out of this Hobby Lobby bag, as opposed to a couple of my Dollar Tree bags were literally 90% sticks. So we're just going to call it a bag of Spanish sticks instead of Spanish moss. But in any event, this one, I saved that stick too because it's kind of cute, so can't be too mad. So I was tucking the Spanish moss into all these little corners. I just laid the raffia that I had and cut into pieces in between the pumpkins. And see, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give this a little trim, and then all the little pieces that are falling out, we're going to add them back in, because I wanted the raffia to be more of the focal point than just stuffing Spanish moss in it, which, if you feel something similar to this, just fill it with Spanish moss and then give it a really good little, haircut so that it's all trimmed up nice, and you would look like one of those really pretty, evenly trimmed, maybe lawn pieces or something like that. It looks very, very, very tidy. Cool. I was going for a very messy fall, bundled up hay bales and stuff like that. So I was actually very surprised of how it turned out, because the idea I had did not look like this at all. I love the color in the pumpkins from dark to light. That just makes me happy. You guys tell me what you think. I enjoyed the process, even though it turns into something else, and it just makes me happy. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, our next one here. Now this one I'm actually able to say did actually go the Halloween way, which made me very, very happy. So I took some of the, this is pumpkin, the color pumpkin, how appropriate, really pretty orange chalk paint from Waverly. And this one I dry bust all around all the edges. And this one I'm like, okay, we're gonna attack this. We are going to make Halloween appear, Whitney, because you keep doing fall, so stop it. And then I just globbed on a big bunch of orange on the back of it. Again, this is the back of it, so ask me why I care so much. I just need pieces to be finished, and just in case you put them on something that's more like a centerpiece, and then you might see the back of it. Who wants it to be like a big little mess up there? So I just took a baby wipe, wiped it off, dried it down, and then dry brushed over it again. So as long as I had the colors I wanted, we were good to go. Now these are also little packages of these little mini pumpkins from Dollar Tree. A lot of people were using them. If you're in the Dollar Tree loop and you follow people that do hauls and things like that, these things are very popular. They have buffalo check ones and leather ones and all kinds of stuff. So I grabbed these 3. 2 of them are velvet, and the white ones are almost like a fleece, and super cute. I actually had there's 5 in each pack, so I have 1 left over. It just worked out this way. And this right here is the Michaels little wooden box frame that you can get up at the registers. So here again, I was going sort of for a candy corn motif, but I know there's no yellow in it, so I was like, well, let's just try to like throw it in. This is the idea. We'll give you a hint that it's a candy corn type lineup. But these little pumpkin patches make me so happy. I love making them. I love looking at them. When I see them out and about in stores and places, it makes me happy. So this is some really, I think this is 2 years old Halloween ribbon I got at Michael's, and we're going to make 2 finger bows. And again, if you're unfamiliar or need some more practice with your finger bows, you can take a look in my video description below, and there is a link to a separate tutorial I made that shows you how to do finger bows. It's slowed down, it goes into more detail, and it's actually very, very beneficial. It took me many tries, lots of practice to get these things down. And you guys, even today, there's still issues I have with pulling them out and retying them. So also it depends on your ribbon too. So in any event, make yourself 2 little bows and stick them on each corner. And again, I went for a Halloween ribbon, but it had the perfect colors, the black, orange, and white. And I think this turned out super cute. Now I put the picture hanger back on the back in case you want to put it on the wall somewhere. But honestly, I think this is cute as a little shelf sitter or a tier trade item that you can stand up. And you also think of it as a vertical piece too. Since this is rectangle, you can you can stand it on its end. Every artist artist interpretation is different. I personally liked it horizontal, but there are vertical and different options and different patterns. I just lined them up, made sure all the little stems were straight, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. You guys let me know what you think. All right, so now our last little piece here. This one here is that Dollar Tree box that had the metal brackets on the front of it. So we're taking it off and we're going to use the back of it, and we're going to add these little finial caps here that I got at Walmart. They're plaid brand finial caps. There's 2 different sizes, and I believe I use the smaller ones. Yes, I do. So what's easier to paint these is to just glue them down. So I'm using E6000 and hot glue. So I'm putting the E6000 in spots and then putting little dabs of hot glue around it, but I'm trying to not mix them as much as possible because apparently it does cause them to stop working properly. So try not to mix them as much as you can. And then from here, it was much easier to just paint them after I glued them onto the bottom of the box. So, you know, work harder, not smarter. Oh my God. Work smarter, not harder. And see, I messed it up to the point where obviously you guys know that's exactly what I did, because I painted one of those things while I was holding it first before I had the idea to glue it onto the bottom. Jeez. Y'all don't listen to me. Just mute this and just watch the run through. Put on some music. So anyways, these little pumpkins, see how crooked they are? These are from Michael's. I got these like probably a couple years ago, but they always sell these little mini pumpkins. And Hobby Lobby has little bundles of them too in bags. So I need 6 of them that fit perfectly inside our little container there. And I was showing you how crooked some of the stems were. It's like, wow. It just screams definitely not handmade. So I took all the stems off and I'm painting them black, and then here's our perfect classic candy corn colors. I wanted it to have a candy corn feel, so I have some ribbon right there. We're going to use that in the project, but I was leaving that there as my inspiration so I could make sure that I have the classic candy corn colors that I need. So of the 6 pumpkins, we're going to do 2 in orange, the pumpkin color Waverly chalk paint, and then we're going to do 2 in the yellow Waverly chalk paint, which is called Maze, and then 2 in the white. So and again, full disclosure guys, I sped this up, but you're only watching me do the beginning of it. Each one of them took about 3 coats. So if you don't mind fussy work, if you don't mind little tedious items, go ahead and just attack this. Or if you have a better idea for paint, but because the pumpkins were such a dark orange, it took a minute to cover them up, especially with that yellow, because the yellow was very, very, very thin. But as you can see above the top of the screen there, the orange ones are dry, the yellow ones are still drying, and then I started my white ones. And the white ones honestly didn't really take that many coats. It's just that the yellow chalk paint was a little bit thinner than the orange and the yellow, but orange and the white. But at that point, we are just putting them off to the side after you give them as many coats as makes you happy. And I didn't concentrate on the bottom, obviously, because we're gluing them down. So I just remember I concentrated towards the top of the parts that would show. And then I didn't want to distress this with paint because I'm already painted the pumpkins. So I just took my hand sander and I kind of went at this box like a mad woman, and I wanted it to look very, very weathered. So, and then don't forget to also distress with your sandpaper the little feet, and then that's what the box looks like. It's very, I would say, weathered or worn or distressed, but it basically is just sanded. But it's that look, it's that good classic, farmhouse look that you're adding to your projects. It makes them so pretty. So pretty. Now this also is a Michaels ribbon that I got a couple years ago. Cute little shiny satiny ribbon. There's no wire in it, and we're going to just line our little box here with this candy corn ribbon. That way, in case it's not apparent once we're done putting all this together, I wanted the pumpkins to be candy corn colored. And again, this whole video had a little mini pumpkin patch theme as well as a gradient or a fading type color scheme. So I wanted to go from dark to light. And I think candy corn kind of does that. I like the orange, yellow, and white. It's almost like a perfect little, it's a perfect little show of the colors in order, or you guys, I'm not really making much sense right now, trust me. I was, see this ribbon here also from Michaels. It's just orange with black polka dots, which again, you do not have to have Halloween marketed ribbon. These little polka dots on orange, you can probably, I think you can get them in their regular ribbon aisle. I was going to do a finger bow with this one but I was having a little bit of difficulty because it's technically one-sided. So the polka dots are only on one side. So I just made 2 loops in my hands, and then I grabbed some black wire that I had out because we're going to use that in a second to make tendrils on all those little pumpkins. Little tendrils on the pumpkins. And I just I wrapped that in the middle of the bow, and then I stuck that in the middle of the candy corn ribbon that we wrapped around our little container. So now is time to adjust our pretty girls here, and we're going to glue them down. Now I was trying to make sure I had spacing correct, so when I glued them down, I glued them closest to each side, and it ended up putting a little bit of a bigger space than I had anticipated in the middle, because I wasn't going to fill this one with anything, but the pumpkins weren't big enough to touch each other, so it kind of looked like it was a little empty. But you guys will see how we go forward and fix that. So it's one of those things where that popped up while we were making things, and I found out, yep, you're gonna have to change it just a little bit. We're gonna have to come up with another idea, Whit. So here I'm making tendrils. This is black wire I got at Michael's during Christmas time. They had lots of colors out, and I got a little spool of black. I'm twisting it around like an old skewer or dowel just to make little tiny tendrils. And I'm twisting lots of it around, a tight twist. I'm taking my poker tool that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm making holes in the center of the pumpkins. You see that yellow one in the middle? Do you see how crooked that hole is? So anyways, I'm making a new hole, so I'm putting the little tendrils that I made from the wire in the holes that I've made, and then we're going to then take our painted stems, because now our stems have been painted black, and we're just going to glue them and push them into the new hole that we made. And every single one of these, you can't tell that I've made a new hole or that the old holes are still apparent. It ended up working out really great, and there's no rhyme or reason to how many tendrils each one has, so pick a pattern, or if you want to put 2 tendrils on each pumpkin, put 2 tendrils. If you want to add 6, add 6. We'll do whatever makes your heart happy. Whatever makes your eyes happy, just work with that and go with it. Once I was gluing the stems in, I was super happy. So only a couple of them have, 2 of them have 2 tendrils, and the rest have 1. And then of course I put them all in different spots. So here, this is where I thought, Whitney, I'm not quite happy. So I grabbed my Spanish moss again. And I tend to be like a Spanish moss fanatic now, I guess. I like it more than I thought I did. And then this right here is a pipberry garland that I got off of craftoutlet.com. But you can get pipberries at Michael's and Hobby Lobby and Joann's, and even Dollar Tree has them seasonally. But this is just a brighter orange that I felt looked good with my Halloween theme. And I was making it look like this little pumpkin patch has some overgrown vines coming out, even though I know the vines don't have pipberries on them. I was just doing something that made me happy. It made the colors, it was complimentary, and then all I did was glue down a couple pieces of the wire after I coiled it around a glue stick to get that perfect little circular tendrily coil on it. And I'm just gluing those pieces in and then tucking some Spanish moss into all the little nooks and crannies that have open spaces. Now, the tighter spaces, you don't really need to use glue because the stuff ain't coming back out. And then with the tendrils, I did glue them in underneath as much as I could. And then, again, just tuck that Spanish moss in different places. Give it a haircut if it starts to get a little bit too crazy. But, and then here, I felt, you know what, we need one more tendril right up front. And you can bend it kind of anyway. And I love how it turned out because, again, I had a little unexpected space that I needed to fill. And Spanish moss seems to be my thing. So I guess I need to say that I am a Spanish moss girl, because I used to say I hated it because of how messy it was, but it really does make every project just so cute. And also it comes in multiple colors, but for our fall Halloween theme, we needed it to look like, you know, the seasons have changed and the colors are you know, fading. Items are going dormant for the winter. I love how this turned out. You guys, please let me know what you think of these cute little mini pumpkin bundles. These little, well, it's not really pumpkin bundle. These little mini pumpkin patches. They make me so happy. I just, yeah, you guys, I really love pumpkins. Don't tell anyone, okay? Just my own secret. I'm just gonna full disclosure. I love pumpkins. They make me smile. They make me happy. And right now, if anything makes you happy, then just go with it. You know, we're at a point right now where things are crazy. Just do what makes you happy. And for me, it's pumpkins. So I kind of, again, the fall vibe snuck into my Halloween video. So next couple videos will be Halloween items, or at least I can guarantee the next one will be Halloween. I've got some projects planned out I need to start creating, and you will see a Halloween video coming soon. So I can actually tell you it will be Halloween. Fall might sneak into the back door, sit down for a while, have some apple cider, but she will watch Halloween come to life. So for all you Halloween people, you got that video coming. So let me know, you guys. Let me know what you think. If you have ideas, suggestions, requests, tell me in the comments below. And let me know how you guys like these today. So with that said, that's it for today. I had these 3 little mini pumpkin patches, and I think they turned out great. I have a coffee page, so if you're interested and you may want to buy me a coffee, all your donations and generosity helps me continue maintaining this channel, buying the supplies. And for everyone who's already done that, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It's not required, never required, but always appreciated. And you guys are awesome. So take care of yourselves and each other. I love you guys. And many, many, many hugs and happy crafting. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.